Okay, what we're going to do is I want to texture this thing. And I'm going to use Photoshop to texture it. I've laid out the UVs for it. I've done some tricky stuff here. I'm just going to show you what I did. I decided after staring at it for a little while, I'm trying a little bit of an experiment so I can show off a couple tricks, and yeah, you'll see the stuff's overlapping right in here. What I'm going to do is I've assigned a different material to these faces at the bottom here. So these faces at the bottom, and also too, what I decided to do was, because I figured that this grill thing at the bottom of this newspaper box or mailbox, it's going to be essentially the same on each one. I went and I laid them out so that they're on top of each other right here in the 0 to 1 area. So each one is perfectly on top of each other, so that each side here is pretty much identical. Okay, then if I go up and let's just do the other ones up here, and then I laid these out, and I've got all these lovely pieces here. What do I need to say about it? I just made sure that they fit in here, and I wasted very little space. I could, if I thought about it, I could probably push some stuff around to make better space use. Actually, you know which one it is? It's this thing right here. That one. This one here could be a bit bigger if I really thought about it. And I'm just going to see if I can weave through all this crap and see if I can put this up here, and can I fit this into a bit more space here? Great. And then these other ones down in here, and this is really hard to see. So let's go in and grab all these faces up top again. Go to shell, so we can see all these things. And then if I went to UVs and I grabbed these UVs here, and I went to shell and I pulled these over so they're not overlapping, and great. So I could get a little bit better texture space, but that was fairly minor. I don't want to horse around with this. Okay, so this is good, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this over to Photoshop. Now to get it to Photoshop, I got to go to Window and Settings Preferences, make sure my plugin manager is set up so that I got the OBJ export on. Okay, great. Close. And then I'm going to go and take this thing, Export Selection, and where the hell am I? Let's keep this all in the school stuff that I'm here. Let's just keep it all, come on, here, great. And it says FBX. What the hell is that talking about? I want an OBJ. So with the OBJ, we're going to call this mailbox. Mailbox. There we go. And done. OBJ. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Photoshop. And so I got Photoshop here. You see the little 3D menu. Great. What I want to do first is, you could just bring it, import it in, but that's probably not the best thing to do. What you want to do is brand new texture. I seem to find it works best if you do something like this, and if you use a 2K or 1K, and for size sake, I'm going to use 1K. 1024. Enter. Okay, and this thing's at 50%. You'll see that if I go and I scale it up, right, it'll occupy most of the space in here, so it doesn't really matter how big or small it is. I'm just going to leave it around there for now. So, what time are we at? 4 minutes. Okay, we're just going to bring this thing in. New from 3D layer. And this is where I'm going to go in and find this thing, and I got to go zipping back over to here, and here, and here, and come on. There we go, and down in here, and there's the mailbox OBJ. And there it is. Okay, so the important thing to remember is down here you've got this little thing for your rotate tool, and you can see this little thing you can rotate around if you want to this way, or you can just kind of rotate with this little icon on. You don't want the one below it. The one below it kind of rotates with the lights and stuff, and it's kind of wacky. I don't really see the point in it. You can also see that right up here that there's the rotate. There's also a scale right here, and the scale is in here as well. You can scale. Scale is essentially a zoom into your object, okay, because the object is kind of separate from the canvas. And why am I not seeing anything in the layers? And let's get rid of that thing. And not seeing anything in layers. Let's go back here. Just need some kind of weird refreshing. Okay, and there you can see the mailbox on the layer. There's a little 3D icon here. There's textures associated with it. Okay, just gonna go back over here so you can see that when I'm scaling it, go in here, scale it, I can move around. I've noticed that the hotkey K, so I don't even have to hold this thing down. I can use the hotkey of K. K and left click rotates, and K and right click moves around. Okay, you see right now if I use this I can move around, and I can do the same thing over here, pulling it around and stuff like that. I typically don't like using this too much. You'll also notice, like I said, there's the rotate tool there, there's the scale tool up in here, there's a default home, so that's like it was when I originally opened it up. If you want to go to your different positions, you can go to left side, front, okay, all those little things. So that's moving around in here. And you can just go ahead and start painting. I've got some nice red. I can just go and draw right on my object. And crap, I'm stuck here. If I'm holding down K, if you tap K, it'll keep the brush activated. So I can go in here and let go of it. Okay, so I'm still on the brush. And then I can go in here, and it's on scale right now. So typically I want it on rotate. And so like I said, rotate, you can handle it with left, and right you can move it around. I don't know if there's a scale one. I should look around and hunt around for that. But this little icon comes up and you can scale with that as well. Okay, so I can rotate around and I can draw. Great. And yeah, drawing right on the object. That's great. Okay, so the next thing is, so we brought in the object. I've shown you how to move around really quickly. Okay, I don't think you actually really need to horse around too much of this other stuff down here to move around and stuff. Maybe there'll be a reason for it. I'll come up with something later on. Right down here what you've got is there's blend says 4SG, so it's a default texture. If I just go and I double click on it, you'll open it up and you'll see there's some stuff. Okay, if I go in and draw on this thing, and maybe I'll make my brush a bit bigger, make it so it's really obvious. And what's my opacity sitting at? My opacity is low, so I'll just make it big. So there we go. I'm drawing all over. And then just go back over here. You're going to see that it automatically saves, and actually that one there, the top one, is associated with the bottom here. You can see it's painting over all these at once because the UVs are layered on top of each other. Okay, and I can go to this one over here, and that's this thing, and I can again draw on it. Great. And I just go back over here, saves it for a second, and it loads it in, and there you go. So you can kind of work back and forth between the two. And let's see, what you can do a little bit more than this. So let's go in here and grab some photographs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to tackle the bottom piece. I'm just going to get rid of this and get rid of that. And the bottom piece here, and do I have a window explorer? Of course not. Okay, so let's go in here, and I'll just quickly go into it's cool, Emily car, and we just go into this and down into here, and I'll grab a couple of these photographs that I really like, drag them in here. Okay, so we got a front of a mailbox, crap, front of a mailbox, and the side of a mailbox. And what are we at? We're at 840, we're at 9. You know what? I'm going to stop this right here, and then I'm going to start texturing in the next one, and then I can show you some other little tricks, some important windows to look at. And let's stop it now.